Hello, hello. We're just gonna set it up. Was having a little bit of tech scuff, but we're gonna be doing a CarrierCon recap. For anyone watching the VOD, we will have chapters on here, so it's gonna be easier to navigate as we mitigate the scuff. My host today. Leave a proper introduction as we get through everything. Right now is wax poetic as I am sharing things in the Discord, and also say hello to all lovely new acolytes in this today or watching the VOD. I very much appreciate all the support and everything that has come from the community for the stream and all of your submissions. Okay, I'm Discord, and then we're all set to go. Announcement up, and we are a go-go. Oh yeah. There we go. This is the correct link, right? I'm still very new to YouTube. So we're still figuring out the YouTube stuff. But it should be good. Let me know if any of the audio or any of the different types of things are a little off. Again, I am pretty new to as far as the audio and YouTube stuff general. So let me know if there needs to be anything to be changed, and I will do as such. But yeah, welcome everyone to my CarrierCon recap stream. I hope you're having a lovely day. We are going to be going through the CarrierCon, and so I got together a compilation of things with my own experience, as well as recommended submissions from people on Twitter, and also thankfully getting a lot of footage and videos from Otakugraphy. It's really hard to pronounce sometimes, but we got there. But yeah, so I was actually have a lot of videos and photos that have not been seen online. Thankfully, Otakugraphy has allowed me to show some in this lovely little presentation recap. So without further ado, let's go get right into it. All right, welcome again. My name is Wondermelo. I'm a VTuber, and I do stuff in the VTuber industry, and I go to a lot of events, so I just want to go and, show people who can't go to those particular events to get, like a little bit of a taste of what it's about. So today we want to just to give a little background to CarrierCon in the USS Hornet. So this is an anime convention on a aircraft carrier. And now, to be honest, going into this, I did not know much about ships. I did not know about boats. I did not know much about airplanes. I played Little Nikkei. I played Lane back in the day. I played Girls Frontline back in the day. I was sort of into Cancol because that was the big thing at Comic-Con for a while. But other than that, this is relatively new territory for me. So I've actually, through this process, learned a whole lot. So in general, the mission is to, preserve the history of the USS Hornet, and they've done a really great job of really pushing donations. Now, if anyone is familiar with things like Kansai Collection and especially Token Rambu, the power of Oshikatsu, I know a lot of people with Oshikatsu, they usually think of VTubers and idols, but technically it could also do for a fictional character. But like, your love and dedication to these characters has had a significant impact on, for example, Japanese sword museums and historical preservation on the Token Rambu Sword Boys era. I remember seeing a lot of. And for example, the Azure Lane collaboration with the US Hornet last year, or even now with VTubers, is showing how there is such a great intersection for so much good from our nerddom that comes together. It was really great to see also a lot of people, even non-anime fans or VTuber fans, who just wanted to come out and support, or they were just happened to be like naval nerds and just like coming up. I mean, of the ship variety, but also perhaps the other naval. Very valid, very valid. Uh, anyways, so again, I have both public. All of my sources will be sourced directly from where I get them from, or they're going to have an Otakugraphy watermark on them. Hello, speak of the devil, Otakugraphy, who will be referenced and through this. So we do have some of there from their raw footage never before seen, and they got some really great shots of the ship itself. So this one is sort of like, now the audio, I mean the video may be a little crunchy because I mostly did just get things directly from Twitter video downloaders since I started on this. But this should be able to give you like a good general view of the ship, and I will go and link you directly to their Twitter as well as a write-up article that I'm going to be doing for them in order to get a little better quality for some of the photos and shots to get a better view of the ship. Yeah. So this is sort of like also from them. This is the line outside. Now, thankfully, I, being staff, did not need to do this. I was able to just go right in. But people were waiting for pretty long for this. This is one other thing of actually inside the ship itself. So I know there's not a lot of footage of it. Thankfully, they did get a lot. This is one of the aircraft Navy vessels that we have, as well as some of the old stuff. People are just going to and from. This is sort of like the edge of the con where we had our little home base. And this is another thing of people just waiting outside. Funnily enough, when I was doing a tour, we actually came across, I believe I was streaming with Reiya, and this lovely songbird of Nursa fan, he's wearing Nursa Happy, was playing the violin for us, and it was so nice. So when I saw this in their archive, I was like, oh yeah, it's that guy, which is really great. And here is another one of their pictures of just in the con. Actually, this artist we ended up going by a lot as far as like when we were doing the tours, since we were doing like VTuber tours around both offline as well as a few streams ones, which we'll get into later into this as well. And so this is again just more pictures of the boat of the ship. Again, I went into this not really knowing too much about boats or ships, but it's definitely through, especially getting to go under the deck, became a really great experience. And also disclaimer, this entire presentation recap is entirely biased and made of my own free will and my own self-indulgence. These videos are simply my own. No one asked me to make this. I am just being a silly Billy and really like otaku culture and conventions and want to let people who, you know, weren't able to come to it experience it themselves. So yeah. I also have a linked document compiling some of the USS Hornet guest historical tours now, as well as recap and debrief streams, so you can get perspectives of other VTubers and guests that were there, such as the Vfleet girls and Pippa and Peony. Now, there's likely going to be more of those coming out, so let me know in the comments below if you do have any more VTubers that have streamed on Twitch and or YouTube talking about their experience, as well as the historical tour where, again, I'm not a tour guide. I don't know really much about this. I have learned more, and I'm definitely looking forward to learning more as hopefully there's more events here with VTubers that I work, maybe. But we do have some from, especially Raki Kazuki's. I am actually a huge Trash fan. I've been a Raki fan since debut, so hers is really great. And then we have some that were done on Twitch, like Radioactive, Alpha Beta, Alphide, and then we have what Kirispica, and then Chikafuuuuuujiii. So all those are going to be linked in the document below. So you'll be able to check out those other perspectives and recaps of the different experiences from people. So I feel like a lot of you may have come from Pippa's channel, and she talks about how in her stream, like sometimes when you go to a con and you don't know what to do and you're introverted, you go and, you know, just go and go to the Cards Against Humanity, sit down, and wait people to come up. So in the lower docks, they had set up different gaming tables. So this is when we were going around and just sort of like looking. They had a lot of panels happening on this for the different like RPGs, or as we see in this picture, we have a Cards Against Humanity session going on for some of the activities. There, of course, was also a Chikafuuuuuujiii LIIIIISSSAA Q&A, which she actually streamed. So if you were not able to get to this Chikafuuuuuujiii LIIIIISSSAA Q&A, then you're going to be able to see that on her channel. And she actually has a camera pointing at the audience, too. So you could get sort of an idea of what the audience looked like. So other than some of the activities, we do have some more later in here because I wasn't able to quite rearrange everything. So as I said, I was actually a VTuber Gundam operator for Otakugraphy. So this is me. I'm Ollie. I didn't exactly have much time to like say, oh, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be at CarrierCon doing stuff, since it was very go, go, go. But it was really great. So this is the squad as far as a lot of the tech and hosts and different people who were getting a lot of the Gundam operation over with OTG. Now, originally I was planning to do a bunch of like short interviews. So I prepared about 30 different questions and then some stock questions for potential interviewees. But of course, things change as conventions do. So I literally was forced to get into the robot Sinji. I was forced to be, no, I love it though. I come from a very similar industry that I'm very used to working on the fly and adapting. So OTG was like, all right, stuff be under control happened, get in the robot wonder. And yes, I did. Yes, welcome, Cloudflare. Hope you're having a lovely day. Sneaking into my single AirPod. Have a great recap. Thank you. But yeah, so we were actually ended up giving VTuber tours. So that was pretty cool. First off, it was definitely a little bit tech heavy, especially sort of limit testing what was possible on a ship, even though they did definitely test the tech the other day, just, day of, it's going to be a little different because of the bandwidth. So first off, we actually started with a private iPad session with the lovely Vivichan the Dragon, and I actually met Vivichan in real life at Okai Expo, since she was actually the second host alongside Coefficient, where I do the Holotori dance during the cosplay showcase. So during the big concert and everything, and Off-Gas was really great, but she was really, really sweet and really, really great. We went to things like they had the Nintendo booth, which I'll show some footage and other things around, and there was a bunch of VV fans who just were really surprised to see her, and she took it like a trooper as we were figuring out tech and everything, so it was really fun. One of the things that I think was especially amusing is she had the wine and baguette. So she was taunting people about how it was a dry deck with her wine and baguette. So I found that particularly amusing. Second session was another private session. I gotta go TaneTenshi, another cultured ship girl lover who loves horror games, Minecraft, and does ASMR as a succubus teacher, which was also super fun. Some of the people recognized her as well, and she was also really sweet. It's a lot of people who signed up are really big, Ship Girl fans and into like Azure Lane, Girls Frontline, and Nikkei, and it was really cool getting to know her and showing her around and sort of like letting people interact with her and facilitating them to like, follow her and stuff, like to check out her content. So definitely going to be checking out more of TaneTenshi. The absolute sweet. So this is actually one of the sessions. So the private sessions we did mostly on iPads. So we would have for the majority of the time, we would have the other host, Serendipity, hold up the iPad and round. We take them around, and then we'll there's me and my Ollie wig. I would use my, I'm not sure if I actually used my pen light as a mic. I clipped on my mic to my pen light ribbon on my pen light, and it worked very well. So this is sort of like the setup of what you would get from one of these private remote VTuber tours. Another one that I had a lot of fun with was Emucchi. And she is an artist. She often goes in artist alleys and definitely is very cultured. Probably one of the funniest things was when we came across one of her fans whose name is literally Penniless Cloud, but like we thought it was penisless. So we called like, oh my gosh, hey penisless, you want to like take a picture with Emu? So that was a thing. Oh my gosh, but her art is absolutely peak. Like, hello? I feel like y'all may have seen this from her on Twitter. So pretty peak, especially the Hex Mini, I believe. The one in the far left. I'm not quite sure if that's her, but it's pretty peak. So highly recommend you check her out. I believe she's gonna also be at Offkai Expo. So definitely go and check her out in person. And yeah, it was really fun. Very cultured, as I could say. Oh no. Yeah, no. Emo's awesome. And then like, yes, the taste. Tane was awesome. And then for the first time, I got to do a Gundam operator stream. So if you want to see me and Reiya gooning to Ship Girls, you can go and check that VOD out on Reiya Sumire's channel. She is of Lucid Multimedia, and she is absolutely fabulous. We got along really, really well. We were doing about a 2-hour stream or so together. Or like 1.5. So it was really nice. Yo, Andy, how you doing? Yeah, I was calling Ollie because I'm like, well, I'm gonna interview VTubers or now tour guide VTubers. Might as well be a VTuber like Wolta and Wolta Oli. So that was really fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of time to like probably chat with people and everything. But at the upcoming events, which I will go on to in a little bit, we'll definitely probably have more time to chill since I was like so dead set on everything. I was zooming. Are you going to Offkai? Yes. I am literally working Offkai from day to night. Like there is no rest. I am both afraid and excited, but yes, I'm very, very excited to Offkai and hope to see you as well as many people as I can there. Lots of things cooking for Offkai, but I'm also very afraid. Very, very afraid, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. Gonna get silly at Offkai. And not get too silly because I'm going to be in work mode like the whole time, but it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of really cool things are going to happen. Welcome to Advanced Audio, so thank you. So we're probably have a sign with me and a QR code. Hell yeah. Anything with Andy, let's go. We love QR codes. That's actually something we're gonna go over about when I go over a little bit more about like, oh, how can, like, you get the most out of your iPad tour, or as a VTuber who may sign up with either OTG or VTuber Robot Club, Research Club, and just sort of like observations as a first-time host going into that, about like what I feel like people did really well, what people could really use to optimize their time, and that's definitely one of that. We actually did run into a lot of VTubers, unfortunately. It was quite crowded, so oh, is audio cutting out? Test. Should I raise the gain? Is it all good right now? Question mark? As such, video experience buffering. Apologies if it is a little bit buffered. I'm gonna go and close some applications, and hopefully that will aid in the process. Maintain viewers exceed buffering, stream health. If we can perhaps get these settings to be a little bit better with different latencies. Apologies for that. We may have to turn off and restart stream as well, but if that happens, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Test, 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 test. All right, if it is still like this, to be re-uploaded, I have a friend I want to show this to. She's currently working. Yes, either it will be re-uploaded and or saved. Yes. I may end up just going and re-streaming as continuing the stream and then going and taking it down and re-upload if it is still like this, since it may be a sounds good on my end. Oh, is it back to working? Or is it still buffering? Again, if you're watching the VOD, I will definitely have chapters. So like if there's like any particular things going on, then we will be able to get that started. Hopefully it's good now. What's up? Hey, it's Cloudfairy. Yes. Yeah, Cloudfairy, who actually gave us a lot of options for some of the things that we were like showing around. We were just going over some of the Gundam operators. We actually ran into a lot of other VTubers while we were bringing VTubers around. Unfortunately, with the meet and greet structure, a lot of the times we couldn't have the VTubers interact because for the meet and greet station, it was, you know, with headphones. But for a few, like with CarrierCon, we were able to have the VTubers, you know, interact and take pictures with each other who were going around. So that was really cool. CarrierCon was also promoting her concert, which is going to be a live VTuber concert, I believe, in Las Vegas. So definitely do check that out if you are in the area. I know it's going to be a lot of different people signed up for that. And yeah, we did have a few other like crossover as far as different types of things with coming across other VTubers. Like when we were in another session, we did have Ava. I did come across her and the host, who was Serendipity, who was doing a walk around tour also for Otakugraphy. That she has her VOD up there, which was also really fun. Going through the ship, and that is also going to be linked in the documents about the ship tours. So both me and Serendipity, you know, we're sort of thrown in the Eva. So it's one of those things where you look back and I'm like, well, that didn't look like it was it was, you know, like on the like, so long as it looks like good from the outside, then that's what matters when it comes to events and production, because things change and we're sort of thrown into there. But it was a good time. We had a good time, and OTG treated us very well as the CarrierCon staff. So that is another one of the streams types of things to go towards. I think my slides got a little messed up, but I did want to go and plug that Reiya is going to be doing a new reveal of her new model 2.0, which is going to be the model up here. with her face. So she's going to be doing that on the 29th. So definitely go check out Reiya and also check out the tour video where you're going to see us gooning the ship girls and talking about culture things together on her channel. Yeah. And then last but not least, I also had a private session with TheRonisLive. We are on the hunt for Nikkei cosplayers in art. Unfortunately, we did not see a lot. This was at the very, very end of the convention, so things were wrapping up and we didn't have a ton of time to go around. But it was a good time and we were able to find like a Nikkei print that we ended up doing a handoff for that. Yeah, thanks for hosting. You're so cool. Oh my gosh, Vivichan, thank you. We were talking about you at the earlier in the stream about all the fun and how you're taunting people with your wine of being on a dry ship, and appreciating for you dealing with the scuff and being a trooper with it all. So really, really appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you at Offkai. It's gonna be a good time. We ride the waves and we take it going. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know the OTG team and everyone really helped with a lot of the on-the-go hack and everything, as well as I'll probably talk about production Yakai later, who did a lot of the panels, and Oshi on deck production as well. I do not understand tech. Serendipity, our other host, also helped configure some last-minute tech stuff because, of course, connection on a boat is not that great, but we did what we had, and hey, it worked for what it was, and it was a good time. It was a really good time. But the audio is good now. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad, Cloud Fairy. That makes me really happy that everything is back, so I won't have to like re-upload. But yeah, Cloud Fairy actually supplied a lot of her footage, in addition to OTG and a few other people on Twitter who both submitted their own experiences, as well as some of the ones that were captured by OTG or my own. So basically this con was just like go, 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 go for me. So I wasn't able to get to all of the panels, but thankfully there were people from OTG assigned to get some footage and stuff like that, so we're gonna be going into that in a little bit. Just like some recap on like hosting tours, like as a VTuber, from a VTuber's perspective, like especially when it comes to non-stream tours. Like if you are a VTuber watching and you want to sign up for, you know, OTG to get some tours, or another company get some tours, or just come over with your friend, like how do you get the most out of that session, especially if you're paying for it, which is usually like how it's going to be done, either that or your agency, or I mean maybe you're bartering with a friend to get a bit of your sessions, since you are only going to have a little bit time. I was able to really help direct people to the VTuber and facilitate conversation if they did have a QR code, because of course the organizer is going to hopefully have that for you, but for example, like us with OTG, we're sprung onto this very last minute, so we weren't able to prepare that and had to switch gears. So the VTubers that did have their sort of QR code ready, it was a lot easier to sort of direct new people who happen to be interested in them to check out their content. Personally, something I would recommend too is having a sort of like a list of your interests in the games and fun facts and niche on the screen, so people walking by can see it and rate it. I was doing a lot of that with sort of mentioning it to people to see if they would be interested in this, but that sort of makes it so it's one less thing for the VTuber or me to have to facilitate and get people a little bit more interested in starting that conversation with you if you just happen to be someone who is passing by. And using props, for example, I know Emu had boba, and there was a lot of really great conversations that sparked from it, like, oh, I want boba, oh my gosh. Or with Vivichan having the baguette and the wine was really, really funny, and people got a really, really great use out of that. Generally, I mean, I still need to do a proper recap of myself, like how I feel about hosting tours, especially, you know, I got into Ava. I generally still stayed chill under pressure, which was great. Again, I did prep for a different task that was changed, but at least I know a lot more about like 30 different VTubers, so I know at least a little bit about all of them. I mean, all of the guests to an extent. So it's a learning experience. So it's not like that time was wasted. Like I'll be able to use those questions and those interviews and that sort of time I spent preparing for that sort of portion and other things in the future. So I'm like, okay, it's a net positive. Also double checking your hotel so that I could make sure that's close enough so I could actually get to tour the area, because it was a lot of at least in the first session, just sort of trying to figure out what the ship was, and then of course, you know, just researching the ship, so I'll be able to give a little bit more historical facts and everything throughout the tour. But overall, it was a really cool experience, and I'm definitely really hoping to work with Otakugraphy and just like do more sort of coverage with VTubers and tours at events, because I really love cons, I really love events, and that's why I sort of like want to keep on doing this. Yeah. But shout out to Charlie Production Yakai for AV on a bunch of the panels. They did both some of the stuff like the Face Connect panel, as well as Oshi on Deck, and other things like Annie Clover. There were also some other panels that I thought were really cool. Again, this is not all the panels that I'm going to be featuring, just the particular ones that I found really cool. Like Hana Ray Soul did a Egyptian history one, which if I were an attendee, I would have definitely gone to this. Thankfully, we do have a photo thanks to OTG of that setup. Again, I could not imagine doing AV because this is below the ship that they're doing this. And I'm like, I would not be able to do that. Like, I'm finagling all those things. But it's really cool just having so much history around you as you're going through the underbelly of this ship, which we were able to go through on our break for about an hour, just sort of seeing all the caravan crevices and the bunks and the different historical portions. So, as you probably know, Pippa was the host for Oshi on Deck and did a really lot of promotional stuff for the event. Also, if you have not already, be sure to hydrate or dihydrate. We're going to do that right now. And she actually did about 5 days of warship-related games, which was really cool. Like, all it for trying to get fundraise money for the USS Hornet. So by the end of her campaign, the Kapipis and her raised about $33K for the USS Hornet restoration. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, referencing Token Rambu and everything about how Oshikatsu really can be channeled into making so much of a change, or like Cancol within our museums in which our history are about. And also, just as a VTuber fan, it's just more fun seeing unique activations that we can interact with VTubers at, instead of just the same types of events, like standard meet and greets, and like, oh, maybe we'll do like a concert and that's about it. There's a lot more fun, different activations and different sort of twists on those more standard activations that can be taken. And I feel like Pippa and like everyone at CarrierCon and the Prod Yakai team really did a lot to sort of integrate that unique spin. I remember one thing Pippa mentioned was like, sort of like reminded me that I'm not tired of VTubers, or like that I'm not tired of conventions, because it is so unique. And it was really cool. It was really cool. Congrats, Professor Antoji, for reaching the depths so hard in her belly. Yes. We reached her navel. It's very easy to get lost in the Hornet. Yeah, it is very, very easy. Thankfully, like, I didn't get lost, but if there's apparently 18 decks on the Hornet, obviously not all of them are going to be accessible to the public, but thankfully, actually, the Hornet allowed a lot of things that aren't normally accessible to the public to be allowed for photos, which was really great for cosplayers, and how much Gabe, which I believe is one of the con director who manages Vfleet, was able to do, which I really respect. So there was actually a Face Connect meet and greet. I believe it was happening while I was streaming with Reiya. So this was sort of like an impromptu thing with Pippa. So there was a giant line at the Face Connect booth for the meet and greet for Pippa. There was someone, I need to find it. I haven't found it online, and I didn't take a picture. But someone with a Pippa drone plane. But the thing is, it crashed right before CarrierCon. So he had just was sitting in line with a sullen look on his face, with the wires out of the Pippa drone plane. So if anyone knows who that was, please let me know, because I need a picture of that. That was absolutely amazing. But there were definitely some other Pippa cosplayers, as you can tell. I believe this may be Zero in this Face Connect tweet. Right here. I can't really tell. I know there's about 2 Pippa cosplayers, and then there's a Shipkin cosplayer that we got perms to show her cosplay too. And then there was a Kahoot. So there was right and answers. So definitely something to figure out and workshop in the next one. You have the video of the plane crash and know him? Oh my gosh, Andy, I need this. I need this. You even have the plane crash. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The fact that happened right before is just off. But yeah, the Face Connect booth was pretty bare bones. They were selling some coffee and I believe some Shipkin Shippa standees. And then they had this backdrop. But to be fair, there wasn't a ton of room on the ship. Though apparently this may be fake information, or it could have been 2,981 attendees, or some sources are saying over 3,000. So it's actually about the same size attendees of Off-Kai Expo. But it didn't feel that crowded, partially because the ship is very large, so people can be in multiple locations at once, and also likely people weren't all on the ship at the same time, like something like Off-Kai Expo, where usually you would be in the hotel and at the same venue in the whole time. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that I got from Pippa's stream, since she did both a recap as well as the general historical tour after back to the panel and convention. So there was a Kahoot. The Kahoot, the Pippa panel I was able to go into for a little bit while I believe I was on Gundam piloting Reiya duty. I cannot remember exactly who I was piloting in the Gundam. I can send out a video on Twitter. Yes, please. I want to retweet that, please. I'll link it in the description of this stream too, for sure. But I was only able to sort of look in the back a little bit, and it was very, very busy, but it was really great seeing so many kapipis, and I was able to go across the stream, the venue a little bit when Lisa's panel is going on, and just go around that. So it was really great seeing so many people. Yeah, Gabe, marketing master of the Hornet. Yeah, with Vfleet and everything. He was one of the MCs alongside Pippa and was giving the tour, and was actually giving the tour with Pippa, and a lot of the other VTubers has been doing a really great, very, very great work in harnessing Oshikatsu for good, and really just making unique experience for VTubers fans, and combining these interests, and just having a net positive on the world, honestly. With all these different things, you get more unique experiences. Your Oshi's get to have fun, you get to have fun, you get to learn things. I, as a Professor Wondermelo, of course, am always a proponent of dialogue in learning, so that whole stuff is really, really cool to me, and it makes me want to learn more about the Hornet and just general ship girl overlap, because I know there is a huge overlap between military nerds or just people in the military as well as weebs. It's like a whole thing. I know one guy who you would never have thought would join the military in when we were in elementary school, but he ended up becoming a tanker because of Girls on Panzer and World of Tanks. So you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen with that sort of stuff, and there is definitely a lot of overlap. Some of the other panels that we got some footage from, some photos due to OTG, such as Lazuli in the Wild. So these are a lot of the ex-Pixel girls who just recently became indie. I am actually a pretty big Lazuli fan. Especially as Lazuli. I followed her previous identity in Pixel Link a little bit, but I've been especially very, very interested in her as Lazuli, and she's absolutely precious. So we have Daya, we have some of the other incarnations of the girls. So these were the panel rooms in the belly of the ship too. Yeah, lots of Azure Lane throughout the Hornets, and as far as like the crossover with nerds, military nerds and weebs and those like big titty, and I'm like, I respect it. I will actually go in a little tirade about big titty and military waifus in a little bit, but trust, let me cook. I think I mentioned this, but there was actually a Nintendo booth, which if anyone is familiar with like gaming conventions and Nintendo presence at conventions, this is not a very common thing. There's always been sort of some contention within the community about official Nintendo activations and what is allowed in the grassroots scene. But this was a very, very welcome surprise to see Nintendo as one of the main sponsor booths, which was it's really nice to see. They actually had some pretty cracked freebies. I'll show you one of the things I got from there. Whoop, got later on, but in addition to just having the standard Mario Kart Smash setup, they had a lot of freebies like sunglasses, stickers, button, full stationery packs, sticky notes, pins, everything. So that was just really nice to see. It was, of course, a small setup, and it was mostly just giving away freebies. But especially for a venture like the USS Hornet that is going to such a great cause, and just generally just seeing Nintendo out there, I really do hope to see them at more of these events as a presence to be more integrated in the community on official capacity and for support. So again, this is just sort of part of the booth. I believe we do have some more photos as well. This is, of course, also taken by OTG. I'm pretty sure that Luigi actually has a festival pack hydrate fair, which is pretty good. That's always good to have for hydration, especially if you go to the Ren Fair, since I know Ren Fairs are coming out. Getting a festival pack for hydration is very, very, very helpful to make sure you stay hydrated. But yeah, so it's sort of cool seeing some Mario and Luigi cosplayers, also taken from OTG's archives. And one of the other programming thing was the V-dere panels. Now, this is by the lovely Fairy Cloud, who had these lovely Uchiwa fan of V-dere made right here. And so all the V-dere girls also performed in some capacity in the concert. I believe Airi was sick on this day, so she unfortunately was not able to join them, but we do have all the lovely V-dere girls who also perform. They all did absolutely amazing. We are going to be going over their sort of concert performances, but yeah, so unfortunately I wasn't able to make this one, but it's really great to just have these one-on-one interactions and seeing like fan-made things like that people make specifically for events like this is really, really touching. I know for Virtual Vacation, I made these like cut out little sticks of Utano Pandora fan-made, and the thing is, you don't need to like sport official merch. You could just like make DIY, especially Uchiwa fan things, and your Oshi will like very much be very grateful because it's a very conscious activity when you go out of your way to make these things for them for these events to, like, you know, share with others as well as show them yourself. It's very special, but yes. On the other side, it does say V-dere me moo. All right. But another big component and sponsor and major part of the USS Hornet and their like connection to VTubers is Vfleet. Now, Vfleet also did have a panel as well as a large concert presence. They are jet and boat girl personification VTubers who do stream on Twitch. Develop and empower creators by offering supporting their best creative themselves, while also restoring nonprofit foundations of preservations with ship museums and aircraft. So it's definitely something I can get behind. They all are very, very bodacious. They are tall, bodacious women. And again, I was actually able to get introduced to a lot of them, at least in a somewhat capacity, when I was doing research for the interviews. So they're all, I do have some of the ones that resonated particularly well for me to show off as well, but they all do have very unique different personalities and hobbies and games. And I highly suggest checking them out because it's all for a really great cause. I personally get very into VTubers mostly when they are in an agency or in a group like V-dere. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be an agency. Like, in a group, have a story going for a cause and their dreams. And for the Vfleet girls, it is incredibly succinct. So it's like, yeah, I could get this. I could get behind this pretty easily. For indies, of course, I do follow some indies, but it does definitely take me a lot more time as a viewer to get interested in an indie if they aren't quite associated with a story in a group and sort of a group goal. So finding out more about Vfleet through this whole process has been really great. It's been really great. This is just a screenshot from one of their panels. As you could tell, they are very bodacious. Very, very beautiful, bodacious, tall women. The majority of them are very, very tall and very bodacious. And honestly, there is one with small titty and there's one with medium titty. But honestly, like, sailors, captains, V-fleets, are you gonna get some medium bitty girlies? Are you gonna get some small titty girlies? Like, again, like, I am all for the big biddies, but it's sort of similar to, like, when I started Nikkei, and I saw only huge titty at the very beginning. And again, I appreciate good big titty. I just want to see some variety, too. But I do love all the girls' designs. I think they are really cool. I'm just saying, next-gen V-fleet, you know, would be cool to see titty variety, but the girls themselves, absolutely amazing. There's designs and the thought put into them around their aircraft carrier or ship and the different types of details and personalities. Incredibly vibrant. And yeah, actually the middle girl, actually had someone cosplay her. I wasn't able to get a picture, but if anyone knows the cosplayer of the Vfleet girl, do let me know. As I was going in things, I particularly resonated with these two. I definitely do want to watch them a little bit more, as well as check out the other girls, since again, they are all very unique and are going to resonate with a lot of different people. Especially when personally, I really like, I personally found myself resonating the most with Eve80, who's actually a recent debutante who served on a NIMS class. Which is really cool. What a Nikkei stream went. I will probably do that because I'm streaming Limbus Company on Twitch. I will likely stream Nikkei. I was actually thinking about that, so keep a lookout on Twitter for that. But I will likely do it because I do play Nikkei. I'm pretty new to it, but I do play Nikkei. But yeah, Eve80, she makes a lot of really cool memes and actually has, like, you know, service on carrier, so she's really cool. I definitely really love her design, especially being a tomboy, and she also does have abs. So, and also like the Shimikaze thong, pretty peak with the Shimikaze thong. But yeah, I mean I do love all the V-dere girl designs. It's just I'm just getting Nikkei flashbacks with just seeing only big titty, and I'm like, I went right. Yo, she has a belly? She has a belly button ring? Hey, yo? Oh, yo. Yo. Okay, that makes it even more peak. Makes it even more peak. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, if I was tall and had biddies like that, I would cosplay you so fast. Maybe I'll still do it. Maybe I'll still do it. Like I patted my bra for my Mono Monet cosplay. I may end up patting my hips for her next time I cosplay her too. We'll see, man. But yeah, and then also Lexi16, I actually really adore her design. I think she's super cute, and she also likes female Gunner games, like Love in Deep Space. So Lexi16 is definitely someone else who personally also happens to resonate with me. And yeah, so like when I was going, I was like, oh, these particular ones resonate with me, but I bet you are going to be able to find there are these girlies or other V-Fleet girls who you particularly happen to want to watch and be your ship or plane Oshi. Yeah, you think I could pull it off? Maybe. I think I could probably do it. I'm just gonna train. I need to train my abs. I need to train, but like, I need to train and then I'll cosplay you, Eve. I need to make sure I get my defined abs because I need to do you justice. Like, with Mono, like, she thick, so like even if I am like whatever, like it works with the cosplay, but I'm like, I need to make sure I got nice abs for you. It will happen someday. I will do you someday. I will become you. That sounds wrong. Someday, Eve, you are very hot and attractive. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna stop gooning and get into the Oshi on deck part. All right. So there was a opener by the lovely Sanflare. So in this portion of the stream recap, we are going to be seeing some videos of different things. I'm generally going to be having some credits and stuff, but we'll see exactly where that goes. And so Sanflare is a Bay Area based Woltage group that actually does weekly Woltage like penlight dance lessons in the Bay Area. So if you are in that area or you just happen to be there for a week, definitely go and hit up them on Twitter to see where you could be involved. They are also going to be performing at a lot of different conventions. There's a Discord server. Really great people. Sponsored by Neon Shrine. Pretty cool. So they're pretty cool. No bias. It was really fun. I unfortunately wasn't able to see a lot of their set since I was zooming and pretty exhausted by the start of the Oshi on deck. I unfortunately wasn't able to fully get into it all the time with the whole concert just because I was pretty exhausted, but I was so really glad to be there, and I'm really happy to see Sanflare get more opportunities and seeing how much the VTubers really love them and are seeing Woltage. I talked this a little bit during my Mosaic Wave stream, but like how much VTubers have gotten like Woltage like culture to the mainstream and just expanding it so much more than it used to be, where it used to be just maybe like a few guys at the Lumica booth back when Lumica USA was a thing at cons. Anyone remember that? Ayo? It's become so much more, and it's really great that there are people that are embracing it, both VTubers as well as people getting interested in it. And yeah, so this is sort of a segment. This is taken from the Sanflare Twitter account. It was just one of the pre-show. I cracked it for the king. Let me know if the audio on the video and stuff is good or not, too. You are king. You are king. Yeah, they're actually going to be, next is going to be this weekend in the Bay Area at the Hamburger event, which I will be showing more of soon as well. This is I believe OTG took this photo, so the source is slightly wrong. Yeah, it's OTG. Funnily enough, you're like, what is this creature that production yuck guy who were the ones who did the production from for the Oshi on deck keeps showing. So this is actually Peony that this guy has on his shirt, who is the director of Sanflare. She is a VTuber, and the Projectin Yakai, who did some of the panels and me for this event, as well as the Oshi on deck tech and production setup. Insert her in a lot of things. You may with her judging face. You may have seen it show up at the end of Phantom Thief's Revenge even, which I'll reference again later in the presentation. But the memes and the stuff they do, video audio is good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go. Thank you, Cloud Fairy. But yeah, so this, I just saw this. I was like, oh, it's Peony. But we'll definitely talk more about Peony and Sanflare later on. Now getting to the actual concert portion. So this was submitted by Ferris Cloud. We're going to first go over the Vfleet girlies during the con and Day 18. So this is some of the, you know, fan cam footage where, you know, you do the lift during My Heart Will Go On. Because the thing is, this is like the Ultigate lift is a thing, and then they're doing it during My Heart Will Go On, which we'll see in a bit. But oh my gosh, this is peak Hino. Peak Hino. Oh. During May 18th Street. Dude's gonna piggyback that. Dude has these outstretched arms and everything. And you know, there's the Ame. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's someone with an Ame stand. Oh my gosh. Peak Hino, man. It's like, this is the stuff that you may not see if you're there in person or directly in your Twitter feed, but like you see online and from the perspectives. And if you can see, there's actually a camera that is directed to sort of like the Ultigate pit. So you could see that happening on the screen, and they can see, the performers can see it happening as well. So shout out to production Yakai for setting that up, because there were some pretty peak moments with that. Unfortunately, like, not all of those are going to be captured in this presentation, but highly recommend you do check out Sanflare's socials, as well as OTG and the rest of the Twitter coverage. But yeah, she did My Heart Will Go On. Of course, you're in a boat. Oh my gosh! Look at this! Look at this! This dude's hella tall too, so he going up hella high. They're getting some air right there. You flew, give me the wings. Yes, you flew. You flew. Yeah, thanks for getting that to me, V-dere. I appreciate it. That was pretty peak. This is sort of just like a more general view of phase performance by OTG. So they do have that on their Twitter account, like little glimpses of some of the clips for some of the performers, which I think was really, really great, because I mean, the thing is, like, if an event happens and no coverage is posted online, does the event actually happen? Not really. And that's sort of something, as someone who does run events, has really sort of not really best of my ability, just because of resources. But as an event host, that is something that I'm working on, VTuber Fan Events is working on, and I'm really glad there is OTG that was, you know, invited and hired to do this coverage, because it is incredibly important, because there are so many amazing community moments and concerts and different ideas that aren't really properly captured, or at least not in a very easily accessible way that you're going to be able to go back and see it as once. It's usually just going to be hunting through Twitter tags, and for organizations like OTG, it really makes, as someone who either was there or couldn't make there, be able to experience it in such a great new way. Oh, this is Gabe. I believe this is Gabe. I showed some Charlie, who is the main tech dude of Production Yakai. And I believe this is Gabe. Yep. Look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing during the song. Pretty peak. Pretty peak. Pretty peak. I love that. I love it, man. That's so fun. And then another one of the Vfleet performers that's got this by OTG was Josie, who was cosplaying as Shadow the Hedgehog. This is later in the set of the performance. Whoop. I think sensitive there. Yeah, so that's just a little segment. There are going to be some longer segments captured on Twitter as well. But yeah, Admiral Y. Admiral Y not, though. Admiral Y not, though. Ayo? Ayo? It's pretty peak. It's pretty peak. It's so much of this event and, like, VTuber events in general, what they could be, and I feel like is a big philosophy of myself as someone who does work with organizing events, is like, why not, though? Like, sometimes, like, when we're, like, sending out invites, like, oh, I wonder if we're gonna be able to actually get so-and-so, and it's like, oh, wait, they're down for it. Like, so much is just, like, asking what if. Asking what if. And, like, people in this industry just want to make cool things happen. Obviously, there are logistics, and there's, you know, people have only so much time, but there's just so many cool things happening that really do give you a lot of options to do different creative endeavors, which I find really fun. All right, this is Mo63, another one to be Food Girls. There's lots of emo. Yeah, so that's just a slight clip from OTG. There's definitely going to be some more good footage of Mo63. I will send both Cloudberry as well as another person, Ava Supra Literal, who got some really great footage as well as we go into the V-dere segment. So there was a sort of a pre-recorded pre-show portion as well as a live portion. So this point of view, this is a really great shot because you're going to see some of the Woltegate Pit shenanigans that are going to be going on during some of the V-dere girls sets. Now, there is a Woltegate cam, so I'm sure we're going to get a lot of really cool coverage and content coming out later, but here's a little peek. Here's a little peek. I was so dead during this. But I'm like, I'm so amused by this. Look where those people go. Like, it's just so silly. Like, how can you not smile like from this? Like, Woltegate, like, it's just so silly and fun, and even if you don't quite understand it, it's like, damn, people are having a good time, and that makes me want to have a good time. And I'm like really happy to see. But yeah, she is actual Hina, absolute sunshine of V-dere. I think we mentioned this before. Actually, when I was giving one the tour, I ran into someone when she was having the meet and greet for Tomoe. I've seen her a little bit and watched her a little bit myself. She's actually an active duty military on an active duty military duty, while also being a VTuber and a part of V-dere as a friend group who do creative things together. And this is a part of one of her sets. Another fun, it's the campfire. It's like an iteration of the Euro camp, but it gets like more culty. It's not quite the Euro campfire. Like, yo, look, they're cooking. They're literally cooking. Look. Imagine just showing this to someone who had no idea what's going on. Out of context. Gosh. And then they get to bowing again. But yeah, the full one of this, as well as a lot of really great like fan cams and super literal Ava's. I just can't stop looking at it. Oh my god, this is why I love this industry. This is why I love weebs, man. Like, you just can't get the same joy out of other things. At least for me, it just feels like I'm really happy to be a part of it. Now, one of the ones that resonated the most with me was the original song of Alpha Beta. Oh my gosh, V-dere. This particular clip is from her electro swing remix of Bibbidi Boppidi Boo. Yo, look at who's throwing it down like that. Okay, with the Bibbidi Boppidi. There are definitely some more videos on Twitter from this that I unfortunately didn't have time to include, but her whole set was so fire. Oh my gosh. I like the electro swing. Her original song is really good and is definitely going on my car ride playlist. So I didn't really know too much about Alpha Beta before this concert, but I am very pleasantly surprised, and definitely go check out her music. She actually did do a tour of one of the chips on Twitch that I do have linked in the document that is linked in this video, so definitely go check that out if this little beta fish seems like something up your alley. Another one of the V-dere girls was Peachy. This is also by OTG. She also performed one of her original songs that's sort of like a short version that you may be able to find later on. And I've known of her for a little bit too, seeing her around. I haven't seen her streams, but I'm really intrigued to check them out now. And then Airi, who unfortunately wasn't able to get to the V-dere panel, thankfully was able to be part of the concert. But this is actually Above Below by Justice. Opposite your Alpha, for real. Alpha Beta is absolutely fantastic. I was really blown away, and like as far as like but not really knowing her, and like, alright, I'm gonna follow this girl. I'm gonna check out her music. Like, this is great. Yes, thankfully Airi's fans were able to experience CarrierCon with her through the beginning concert portion. And then, oh my gosh, Kirispica! She did a loop station, Dangerous Woman, Ariana Grande, that was so sultry. And like, oh my gosh, like, honestly, very hot. Like, you see this like little girl, like you're just like, oh, this sounds sweet, and it like gets out this amazing voice, so soulful. Oh my gosh, she's incredibly talented. She did a loop station performance during Offka Expo, which I was really blown by, because this yes. And what I really loved, especially, she did a Miku medley. So this is also by Fairy Cloud. We're probably not gonna watch all of it, but I'll link it in the description of her Miku medley. And it's all like classic. So of course, at first, the way she was introducing it, I thought it was just gonna be like a few songs smashed up, but now this is like 5 minutes of songs. So you got your World Is Mine, you got your Senbo Zakura, you got Last Night, Good Night. That really put me in the feels, man. Helga World. Like, Romeo and Cinderella. It's like a love, for real. So she was in a Miku cosplay for this. And so a lot of the pen lights like would turn like blue or teal during this portion, in addition to her other one. And so that's her playing the piano. Like, she's a pianist and she does loop station stuff all live. This is all live from her. And she's so incredibly talented. I believe V-dere are going to be at Offka Expo hopefully performing, and I really cannot wait to see her next time she performs live, since that is such unique raw talent. it's not even really talent, but the hard work that you know goes behind it to reach that point. Both as a performer and as a instrumentalist. Fantastic. I'm gonna skip to the last night goodnight portion. Oh! Yeah, I see people going. That's me. That's me going crazy for that. God, that throws me back. That was honestly one of the hardest hitting performances for me personally. I know there's so many amazing performances that are gonna be hitting like so many people so many different ways, and her performance definitely, again, I was very exhausted from working all day, so I wasn't able to fully get into everything the most as I would normally as an idol fan. But I was really reinvigorated by hers, and I was really grateful for that. And then, of course, one of the other headliners, Chikafuuuuuujiii Lisa. I literally just cannot call her like Lisa anymore. I gotta go Chikafuuuuuujiii Lisa because it's really amusing to me. So this is one of the shots from OTG that I was able to get from their archive of the Lisa fan. Now, Lisa fans the sheeple are incredibly dedicated. I see them pull up with the standees and the cosplay and everything to a bunch of different SoCal events. So Lisa, when are you coming to the SoCal? Ayo? When Miss Chikafuuuuuujiii Lisa, when are you coming to SoCal? You have a lot of sheeple in SoCal. I'm just saying, I see them at cons all the time. So this is really nice. The sheeple, again, are a fan base. You could see one of them, but there's actually two other people also in Ollie Holowata Happy right near me. I was thinking about taking a picture with them at the end, but I was again so dead. But that was really fun to see. There's also a Lisa cosplayer, which I can't remember who I'm oomfies with to see them in this, but yeah. So this is like another little fan cam from Super Literal of Chikafuuuuuujiii Lisa. Her set list, Breaking Benjamin, like her original, everything, cool, like it's peak emo middle school. I was like dying. I freaking love this girl, man. I was headbanging. I was headbanging as Ollie, and my buns came off. My Ollie bun fell off because I was headbanging in the front row. Supposed to see Cloudflare going crazy, of course, and the Woltagate. This is sort of like a fan cam of it. Yeah, you can do Woltagate to anything, man. Or Ultagay, Chikagay. Just do whatever. Because there's so many experimental ways to do it to whatever song you need to or want to. So this is a visual experience. Listening to Lisa's set, she's an absolute hoot, and I really admire the sheeple and their dedication to the leader. Oh, look at that jump right there! Yeah, no, that was an amazing, also very invigorating set. And now, definitely the one I was incredibly most excited for when she was first announced for Oshi on deck. I need to first get some water because prepare for this. Raki Kazuki, my beloved. I've been a trash pan since day one. I met her, I was able to do a meet and greet with her at Off Guy. I remember, when she first debuted, I actually first got to see her because Vividly ASMR was doing a sponsored watch along for the Pixel Link girls, and I thought, I'll go and see what Vivi's watching, and I saw this cute raccoon girl who likes Aikatsu and did metal stuff, and it was Kingslayer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so precious. When she started VTubing as Raki Kazuki and the agency and everything, she was literally just entered Academy, so I saw a lot of myself in her as someone who used to, create content and stream in college, and seeing her grow and everything was really precious. Especially since she's announced for CarrierCon right before the official dispersal of Pixel Link happened, and she was able to get her IP back from the Donathon, the Save Rocky Donathon, within the first 6 minutes, getting 10K to get that Rocky IP back. It makes me really proud. It makes me really proud and really happy. I actually have someone take some photos of me cheering for my own memory of Rocky. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the funds or time to make a Rocky cosplay for Offkai like I initially thought. Yeah, go Rocky, she did so well. I know. She is so precious. She's so hardworking, and her ASMR is really cozy too. And I love her Zatsu. I love her karaoke. She really loves idols. She really loves VTubers, and is an absolute precious being. I literally have her starting goods from the very beginning of Pixel Link, and unfortunately I lost her standee. So if CarrierCon staff, if you see a missing Rocky standee, that's mine. Thank you for the thing, Prophet Tokyon. Thank you so much, Cloud Fairy. See you later. Really appreciate it. But yeah, so this is some of the Rocky. Again, I'm just really proud of her. She was the one I was most looking forward to. I was a little more dead than I would have liked to be during her set, but I know there's gonna be a lot more opportunities to support Rocky to come, since this is sort of the start. If anything, I feel like the whole, everything that happened with Pixel Link really put her into the more mainstream view of word VTuber fans, if anything. I mean, obviously it was, very stressful, and as Pixel Link fans, we could have sort of saw the brewings of things happening for the months leading up to everything, and it was just knew something was inevitable. But I'm really proud of her, and I feel like this is definitely going to be for the best, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her grow and have the Trash Pan army get even bigger. Yeah. So these are just some of the photos. She sang her original song Gamba Rocky, which, fun fact, if you know Confessions of a Rotten Girl or a Magical Cure Love Stotch, Sawtone, the producer of that, also produced Rocky's original song Gamba Rocky. So I'm not sure if this is one of her covers or the original. Let's see. That's one of the from the Love Live covers. She really likes Love Live and Aikatsu and Idol Master. This is during Gamba Rocky. I was can you record me? She's so precious. But yeah, it made me really happy. Some of the trash pans actually got together. I'm not sure if this was posted on Twitter for Rocky yet. If not, I will do so, or if they did it already. Some of the trash pans actually gathered at the end of the concert to create this cute little video for Rocky. So if it's not on Twitter already, I will put it under her tag. But for now, here we go.
All right.
Oh, there's Jinx coming in.
So.
Yeah, this is sort of it's coming through at the end. Just sort of a little, for your first live big concert, and just seeing how much the Trash Fan army is going to show up for Rocky, and see her go on. And this is actually one of the the photo version, and it was really great because someone made a lovely Rocky sign, and then a Rocky meme sign. So they're up in front. Man, I could use a monster right now. I could really go for a monster. Need a monster right now. Just a little pick me up. I'm so tired. A little monster might help me. Gosh, if any Trash fans remember the Charged Lemonade saga, the Starbucks Charged Lemonade saga, I was there too. I too was there. Oh my gosh, this raccoon, so precious. And then thank you, Kenny Coda Channel, for submitting this. Because of all of the donations that were given during the stream and everything, Pippa went and did a live reaction to Pippa the Ripper, which, if you do not know the lore, she actually privated out of shame, which, even though it was never removed from like YouTube music services or like Apple or some other platforms as well, it's sort of weird, but she privated sort of like oh, it's cringe, but you know, in honor of good you know, it's a good fun and a good cause. She basically streamed it while reacting. You may not be able to hear it, but she's like shouting and saying how much she hates us. And like judging. I unironically like the song. I unironically listen to it. I think it's really fun and a good earworm, and I think it's silly and fun, and I think it's not cringe at all. Like, it's a good time. It's a good time. So Pippa was the host. She was emceeing. She was talking to Gabe in person and introducing and hyping up all the girls. And then actually she was able to go live as with a little recap stream that we'll also reference later here, talking about the event while also having the Anna Clover after party as background music with her stream, talking about all the things that happen and the meet and greet and continuing with the fundraising all the way to 1 a.m. So that will also be linked in the document in the description. She was just, you know, talking about how cool it was and how, you know, the cooler type of people, your average person CarrierCon con attendee is going to be cooler than your average anime con attendee. And honestly, I will have to agree, because it does attract a certain type of person. And it's a pretty cool person. It's a pretty cool person. It's a pretty cool vibe that everyone specifically comes for this, not just because, you know, this happened to be area. It's a casual thing. Nah. These are the hardcore VTuber and ship nerds, like, coming together. And I really appreciate that she did do such a great campaign for the convention with boosting a lot of people on Twitter and the different performers, as well as different organizations like OTG, and really hyping everyone up. I don't know if anyone, all of you know, but I actually did work with Pippa a little bit when she was a guest for a VTuber fan event, the Fujiwara car events that I helped host. And funnily enough, Serendipity, who's the other OTG host, was her main Gundam operator there. Now, she did stream that, and she was also very just like chill and down to earth to work with then. And seeing her interact with everyone and like how she's been, you know, like hyping everything up, and just this genuine love and passion for VTubers is really something I really respect. I actually got, I would say, mostly into Face Connect as a butter cookie, but I have definitely been watching a lot more Pippa lately, and it's through these sort of like genuine, just such like outreach to hype up the community, uplift the VTuber community, and just absolute pure love of VTubers in and of itself that I really respect. I really respect, and I think she's definitely a really great force to have in this industry. But yeah, it was Pippa Kapipis. It's a good time. So if anyone does remember that stream, I promise VTuber fan events is working, where next time, whenever we will have another like stream type thing, we are working on tech things. So that is also a thing. She was a trooper through the tech Scuff back then, and thankfully she was in the hands of production Yakai through this, as well as everyone else on Oshi on deck, as well as Anna Clover after party. Started out with a Woltage relay hosted by Sanflare, as well as some other guests like Jinx. Oh, we can't see it that much because it's a little grainy because of Twitter. but this is part of the Woltige relay. I actually did see that Sanflare did upload their CarrierCon performance on YouTube, and we'll be linking that in the description as well for you to check out for their pre-show performance. This is also part of the sort of like Annie Clover segment. You got some people doing the little flipsies out there. This is sourced by, again, Ava Supra. you got the, I love this part. It's like so silly. Ghost Nick, and he's cleaning deck. He's cleaning deck right now. Literally. Unfortunately, this was incredibly late in the night, so that's why the audience isn't quite as large as perhaps one would think. There's still a lot of people, of course. People are doing like Kikuge right now, a little spread out, but the people who kept on going, like, look at them going! I don't know how you have that energy. I was pretty dead at this point. But I love seeing it through the videos like this, and I do hope they do start the concert earlier next time. I feel like that's one feedback they did get, so more people would have the energy to enjoy the Annie Clover after party, since they do a lot of really great work. But either way, it was really great to see Annie Clover there. This was the lineup. It was Giselle and Peony, so did with the Woltige groups. They're doing some stuff. Awesome work with Sanflare. They're actually going to be performing. They're going to be both performing, as well as Rainy, who's also on the lineup in the next Annie Clover installment this weekend. I'm not sure about Nietzsche. I can't remember off the top of my head, and we'll go over that again. But now, let's get into the cosplay. All right. So I only took one cosplay picture because I was very much zooming and grooving all around. But I do not know their ats. I don't know if there's any other Gundam fans here, especially Gundam Sneed fans. Yo, any Gundam Sneeders in the comments or in chat? Rise up, please. Yo, they even had like this guy. They had the full Zafty OG group. And so I freaked out. I was actually giving a VTuber tour, like, so it was a little awkward as a little tangent, and like I, recommended Gundam tour and everything. I actually I recognize the Atherin cosplayer as the Izak cosplayer. The Atherin cosplayer actually cosplayed Izak at Anime Los Angeles that I recognize. I'm like, oh my gosh! I do have a plan where I must cosplay Kigali sometime this year. I've seen Gundam Sea cosplayers at ALA and Anime in Los Angeles, and I'm like, I need this because I really love Gundam Seed. Also, so there was a thing where CarrierCon invited some cosplayers to cosplay their mascot, Hornet-chan. So this, for example, is Nika, Fake Frogs, who you may have seen from some Nikkei stuff in the past. She was actually part of VTubers Fan Event's first Gura cup sleeve event as one of the Guras. So the USS Hornet actually does have a mascot. So they have a lot of merch of her and different things. So they invited her to... This was all created by herself. She's an incredible seamstress and a crafter. So you see the USS Hornet-chan just sort of like right next to her in this like little video. And the little staff and everything is so cute. You're going to see a few more of the USS Hornet-chans, which are cosplayed. And I think it's really, really great with CarrierCon inviting cosplayers reaching out specifically to cosplay their mascot, because it shows how cute she is in the community aspect. And yeah, so that was one of the USS Hornet-chan's cosplays. And another really cool cosplay by Asuka Jirai, who I've never seen before. It was really cool. Cosplaying Pipkin Pippa. Oh my gosh. Like, how perfect is this? She's so cool looking, and especially this this photo. I mean, it's like this is an example of like the cosplay you take to CarrierCon. Like you cannot get anything more precious like than that. There was also a lot of Evangelion cosplayers. There's a lot of Final Fantasy cosplayers. There was of course a lot of Azure Lane and Kantai Collection cosplayers, because it's like, where else are you gonna get a photo like that? So Asuka, thank you so much for cosplaying Pipkin Pippa. I know the Kapipis are really excited, and Pippa was super excited. And I only saw you in passing because I was working, so I couldn't say like, oh my gosh, hello, I love your Pippa cosplay. But now I am doing it, so yeah. And she even got the Crocs! It got the Crocs! It's actually lavender Crocs too, which is pretty great, so definitely go check out Asuka Jirai. We'll have her at her info in the description after the stream as well. And now this is going to be only some of the cosplay contest entrants. This is not all. This again is some of the early footage I was able to get from the OTG back end. So this is not going to be all of the different cosplay entrants, just ones that particularly amuse me. As I said at the beginning, this presentation recap is incredibly biased and just self-indulgent, so I'm mostly just focusing on that, though likely the full gallery will go up later, I assume, and I will, whenever that goes up or any of that presence is up, I will be linking that in the description for the VOD watchers. So this was actually another USS Hornet-chan who I actually came across as well, who was taking some photos of the new design for USS Hornet-chan for this year, or was it last year? It may have been last year's design. I believe this is the new design for her new outfit. So this is one of the people who entered the cosplay contest. I was giving a tour at the end and was able to go through, check a little out of it, but I was really happy to be able to go through OTG's gallery to see some of the people I saw in passing up close that I could have missed before. This is sort of a compilation. I don't know if this is like the winners. Fun fact, the lovely person in the middle is cosplaying from Strawberry Shortcake, and it looks like they won and actually gave out some really cute, adorable, you know, the basket they have? They were giving out free, like, bracelets and stickers that I'll show you in sort of like the whole portion of the stream. These are some of the other cosplayers in this suits of armor and everything that were really cool to have. This was a huge, awesome Final Fantasy group. Like, hello. Look at all the Final Fantasy cosplayers. I was like, wow, there's a lot of Final Fantasy cosplayers here. I know I saw like there was a Tifa, and now you got Lightning, you got Cloud. You got a lot of them. And I'm like, yo, I don't know why Final Fantasy, but you know what? Probably gonna actually does work with the background. So, really great to see. And then I did find a Kantai Collection cosplayer, the Atago right here, which was really good. They had like the little propaganda poster as well. And I believe this character is from Girls Frontline. Please correct me if I am wrong, but I believe this is either a Nikkei or a Girls Frontline character. Again, I'm not super versed, super into that sort of stuff, but I am like getting into it now. This is another one of the really cool cosplayers I saw. And then we had Team Fortress cosplayers. They were completely in character when we were doing the VTuber tours too and interacting. So that was really cool. I've never actually played Team Fortress 2. I just know about the BL Yaoi stuff from Team Fortress True, from DeviantArt and fanfiction.net days. And that is my impression of Team Fortress 2. And I know Nyarichu likes it. So, yeah, that's what I know about Team Fortress. And I think, I'm not sure if it was on the, it may have been when we were streaming that me and Reiya were gooning over Scouts, potentially. And I'm talking about the appeal of Scout to women. I actually don't know too much about Scout. I just know how he looks. I don't know anything else about him. But yeah, so that happened. That may have been caught on stream. Who knows? Post-CarrierCon cosplayers, another one of the things where it's like, yo, dress for the occasion. Hello. I didn't even see, I don't think I saw these guys like when I was at the con, but seeing like them in the gallery was so cool. And probably I did see them a few times. Was this Senshi cosplayer that had a whole different bread thing, and then he had a carrier for the bread and the shield, and it was just pretty great. I freaking love Dungeon Mesh. I'm really looking forward to season 2. It's gonna be a good time, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Also, this is sort of, I guess, going to be a mainstay of my sort of event review recap streams is experience submission section. And now, talking on Twitter, when I announced I'm going to be doing recap stream, I'm going to ask people if they have anything they're going to submit, because again, I'm not going to be able to find everything. I will, thankfully at this event, I did have the privilege of being able to use Otakugraphy's gallery to provide some extra coverage that haven't been used online yet. But this is something I really appreciate, people sharing their own experiences. Some of this has been used already in the concert portion, but this is, for example, from Ander photos about the Sunset Before Ocean Deck concert. Sadly, forgot to take photos of the cosplayers, but if you had to do it one thing, this moment is so beautiful. Being able to see up there, and it was mentioned on PNA stream, so I can't say this. There was some video footage of some stuff happening up on deck at sunset that I'm really looking forward to y'all saying. From the cool peeps there. So definitely keep an eye out on that, and I will link it once that is live in the description as well. It's again just making the best out of your unique experience with your venue that you could not do anywhere else. Another experience submission is also by who I referenced before. As I said, Pippa was doing a meet and greet, so her line was super long. So she does the little surprise face right there, and then this was during the experience of Pippa judging us. I remember another really fun thing she mentioned either during the meet and greet was there was the Bismarck and another cosplayer doing PDA, and she got coxed by them in front of them and was just jealous of them, and I found that very amusing from her stream. People annoyed her with the boat goes binted, and she tried to make us sink the ship. So she was a really great host. It was really fun. Some talks by Coda about how heartwarming was, about how the concert was incredible, and scream your heart out, because that's a love for your Oshi and of all these amazing things of education bringing us together. Spent 24 hours traveling this weekend, so it worth. That was me. I'm actually from SoCal, and I road tripped up, so I went up on the Friday, and then I went back on the Sunday. But would do again. I actually have done day trips for Anti-Clover, or at least going up the day of and then staying at a friend's during the night. So that's definitely worth it, honestly. to make the trip, or get to even did it all sober. That's the thing. I was actually thinking I was gonna party after it, but I was so exhausted. But honestly, I did not need any of that alcohol, and it's being able to get that high when you're completely sober, it's around that energy. I feel is really unique, and more things that we need to have in this post-COVID world to bring us together. It's just yeah, you could do alcohol and stuff like that, but having experience that you don't need it, or if you are going to indulge in that sort of thing, that it just enhances your existing experience rather than relying on that. In this society, in this era, that it's really harder, more difficult to find connections and socialize, especially as an adult. So it's experiences like this, and Ultige, and just love her Oshikatsu, that get really natural experiences and conversations going that I really appreciate. Speaking of the Strawberry Shortcake cosplayers, so this is what they ended up giving me. They are Astro here, so if you want to check out their stuff, definitely do. Got a Worry Makes You Suffer Twice, so true, and a Hene bracelet. I also got some sunglasses from the Nintendo booth, some Luigi ones. There was also Mario and Peach and Donkey Kong. There's a lot of stuff at the Nintendo booth. I didn't really have time to get more stuff, but very, very happy with what I did get. And speaking of the 4 production Yakai who did some of the panels, such as the Face Connect panel and Oshi on Deck, are super, super cool. Here's some of the different feeds. I was actually able to get sort of like a little rundown on how they do things, and it is incredibly complicated, and I do not understand tech, but I really, really admire what they do, and the passion. If letting intrusive thoughts win was a production team, they're doing a lot of stuff both at conventions as well as like off-kai, as well as silly things online that I'll be talking about later. So definitely go check out Prod Yakai. If I think I mentioned this earlier, but they were the one who did the doorbell camera recording of the Phantom Thieves Revenge concert. Charlie grew just absolutely crazy in the best way, and big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to, of course, Otakugraphy that I was able to work with to do the VTuber tours, and also thankfully was able to get some of the extra photos and footage from for this little recap stream. Definitely, if you do want your event covered, especially if you are in either the NorCal Bay Area or LA, Los Angeles area, as well as anywhere else as well within that general vicinity or beyond, definitely go check them out. Feel free to say, yeah, we think you should take Wondermelo along too. I think she was really good. You could also say that, but that's optional. No, they're really cool peeps, and I'm really glad that I was able to sort of join their squad for this event, and hope to see them a lot more things coming up in the future. And definitely remember the name, hit the follow button on their channel so you can get some proper coverage of the event. Because again, if an event happens and there was nothing to like post from it, did it actually happen? Not really in the grand scheme of history. You're gonna have like a memory of it and maybe some personal photos you have on your camera roll, but how are you going to really properly experience if not for organizations that do go out of their way and above and beyond, like OG? This is something that, like, sort of like a closing segment from Pippa's stream, like a recap stream. So of course, because they did get a goal, she did team live Pippa the Ripper. So that, of course, is something you do gotta check out, because that's worth it. But this is just sort of the
oh my gosh,
talk about, like, you know, why we do this and everything that really hit me pretty hard.
Oh man. Thank you guys so much. I know to some people it's just a fucking boat, but well, M14 will thank you. But I think it's really important to hold on to our history, lest we repeat it. I know that's all like corny, right? But it's not even about that, right? It's about looking back on the amazing things that we've done. And I know some people, again, will be like, what do you mean, Pippa? What do you mean amazing things? You know, that boat killed people, Pippa. Well, first of all, boats don't kill people. People kill people.
Exactly.
But anyways, besides that, it's just an amazing piece of technology. It's something that 3,000 fucking people
so much
live their life on.
Art into this, because the thing is, like,
some people might have lost their life on there.
Fishman could just like give them money to put, you know, sponsor, put Pippa up there. She could host and just do the bare minimum. But she worked her butt off to put all this together to go above and beyond.
Incredible. Whether you love or hate humanity,
that you could not like manufacture that sort of passion and dedication thing.
It's incredible. Not that people died, but
that really touches me. So definitely highly recommend you check out her
on the fucking ocean
recap stream, as well as
a
bunch of other really cool
like an anime,
from the guests,
like,
as well as some of the VTubers who were taking tours around, and from the lower people, as well
That's
as
insane. A
I
mini?
believe Pippa had someone taking her around. I saw there was V-Sojo people there. I know Zentreya was there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to say hi since I was busy with something. Definitely want to check out that footage and that sort of coverage. I think they were live on stream as well. So we love seeing the V-Sojo people pull up with everything. A lot of time when, as far as having this setup to do the streams of events, a lot of the times you would just see the VSojo. So I'm really glad to see that OTG does have that sort of setup and technology to be able to live stream events of VTubers so that more VTubers have access, like Ava, like Reiya, to be able to share their experiences and make content out of it. Because again, even if you're just doing sort of like a walk around private segment, there is less that you as a VTuber can really get out of it. But if you are interacting with your chat and your audience, you're going to be able to make a lot more effort. That being said, of course, the private sessions, there is time and place, and there are a lot of ways to get out of it, especially for people who are your fans and would feel shy to be on camera or just want to talk to you one-on-one without chat being there. That is a great opportunity for private iPad as well. So yeah, and speaking of Production Yakai, they're going to be doing a Production Yakai Spring Shuffle performance. I know Ava, who I mentioned, is going to be there, as well as Peony and a bunch of other really cool people. So go check that out on 2 days, March 29th at 6 p.m. EDT. So go check out Production Yakai. There's the people who did the production for Oshi on Deck and the Face Connect panel and a bunch of things off Kai and a lot of really cool things going up. So in addition to their online events, they also did the carpool karaoke thing, if y'all remember that. We do have Annie Clover. If you are in the Bay Area, if you're in the Bay Area at all, which is where it happens, there is going to be an Annie Clover event. So especially if you couldn't make it to the one at, or properly, you know, enjoy and vibe with the one at Oshi on Deck, you're going to love the one here. I drove 6 hours day of for this event before, and it was 100% worth it. 100%. You got Cynthia on his Similar Outskirts, Sakai, Purico Project, Rainy, Refu, Scarlet Lemieux, and Clover Sun Team, 3 Exen, Ho, and Woltegate Block, which is actually going to have Dracil and Peony with Sanflare, which are going to go super hard. Because again, those people in the Sanflare, like, they were going all day filming and practicing and doing different things. So this is going to be them at their peak performance, peak shape. Definitely check it out and cheer them on, as well as everyone else for me. The Anaker, like, anime-san, like, parties and stuff like this, it is such an amazing time. And if you are in the area, or even if you have time and you're 6 hours away like me in Los Angeles, go to it. I unfortunately do, I happen to have like some plans this weekend already, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to go out to it. But it is worth the drive out for a night event, and the people be there, and the cosplayers, and all the love for it. Highly recommend check it out. If not in NorCal, then at a event that they'll be on in the future. So if you are in SoCal, again, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go there, but there is a Amelie fan event held by Chuba Cafes, who's a friend of VTuber fan events, where Yakai Soul, who is the SoCal-based Woltegate group, are going to be hosting a workshop. So there's going to be, of course, there's going to be fan merch, and there's going to be a small artist alley, and drinks, and cup sleeves. So definitely go check that out. It's going to be all the way in Tustin, California, if you are in SoCal and do have availability there. But as far as me doing proper coverage on and being personally there, my next event is going to be on April 6th. Akiba Live. There is actually also another idol event going around in the area that you might have heard of, but Akiba Live is going to have the Kon Maria and Shabel Tanya of Brave Group, as well as the V2.5D VTuber Super Melody Idol Unit, and SoCal favorites Azure, Mary Cafe, Aquarius, and Hamukatsun performing. So definitely go check that out. It's going to be starting at 2 p.m. There's going to be karaoke later in the day. I highly recommend. Again, I'm going to be there, and unlike CarrierCon, where I'm just zooming all around, I really look forward to saying hi to y'all, and chilling and nerding out about our Oshis and enjoying the experience little bit more in the moment. So highly recommend you to keep your eyes out on that event and the things to be announced soon. If you are in the SoCal area or within driving distance to SoCal, though, I would say the Tanyatachi and Kohai, I would say it's worth going out even more for that for them. Thank you for shouting at the Underbelly event. Of course, you know, like I'm doing event coverage, and even if I can't be there myself, I gotta go and let people know about what's happening in their community, because you gotta show up for these events within the community things. Like the more people with that were here, and the more people show up to these VTuber fan events and community events that we grow, like the more cool things that could happen. So definitely go check that out. Definitely come to Akiba Live. I will be there in person. I'm not gonna be performing or anything, but I will be there, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'll likely do another like event recap if so long as I have enough like things to talk about, which will likely be so because it's very much up my alley. And then the event I'll be out after that is going to be the VTuber Tea Party. So we're going to get more info very, very soon. We're helping host with VTuber fan events. It's going to have Ayla, it's going to have Juna Inagi, PP, and Yuna Nini, and the lovely, beautiful Jin Tea House. So it's going to be having tea with your Oshi. So like an afternoon tea. It's going to be on April 20th in West Covina in SoCal. So it's going to be a really fun time. Very cozy, very cute, very demure. So yeah. Got a lot of really cool things cooking on the VTuber fan event side, and as I am with content, as I realize, so I don't have enough time to do content, so I'm going to make content out of my work events. And it's like, yes, big brain. I mentioned this in sort of a little bit during the Mori recap, but I'm just like, well, I go to all these things and I love watching event recaps and living vicariously through coverage of different things. Or even if I went to something, I like watching people's experience to sort of remember it myself. So yeah, so likely the next one of that will be with Akiba Live. I'll be posting more details about that later on my Twitter. I'll be boosting their stuff when it gets posted to Twitter. Most of the stuff is on Instagram that I just stole this from, was Instagram screenshots, so definitely go check out the Little Akihabara Instagram, and hopefully stuff on Twitter soon as well. But yeah, again, thank you so much to everyone as well. Oh, yo, my chat works here? Yo, I didn't know my chat worked on YouTube. Okay, that's a nice surprise. Nice. Okay, anyways, this was Wondermelo, a VTuber cosplayer and event organizer who likes silly things and events. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me for the recap, and I will see you for the next one. Likely will be streaming some Limbus Company and or Nikkei on Twitch later this week. And I will see you at Akiba Live. Hope y'all check out the Amelie fan events and Production Yakai's remote, as well as the over events. But yes, I'm going to be signing off. And unfortunately, I think you need to be able to get YouTube partner before you can raid. So definitely feel free to up your watch time or subscriber. Almost at 100 subscribers if you would like to see more event recaps, as well as other cool things like otaku deep dives. Like I did a live stream talking about Mosaic Wave, and whenever I don't do recap streams, I'm gonna either be doing karaoke or just other really cool niche otaku things about weekly on YouTube, weekly or every other week. But I will definitely be doing my silly gacha games on Twitch as a sort of wind down in between arc stuff. And really appreciate you coming to the stream, and hope to see you. Thank you so much for the support. Again, shout out to OTG and Production and everyone else, and take care.